Hi, this is Pratima Sinha, CEO of DSR Education Society, Hyderabad. We have 6 preschools and 1 K-12 schools under our umbrella. Today I am going to speak on the topic of classroom management and strategies. According to me, classroom management is very important aspect of teaching, because the kind of conducive and positive environment that the teacher creates will definitely lead her to reaching her teaching objective. So there are no tips and tricks, I would say, for classroom management. It is all about how I care, how I guide, how I communicate, how I encourage, and how I relate to the students. There are teachers who have been working for so many years in the same class. They have acquired a way of managing their classes. They know exactly how to go about and relate to the students. But definitely there are teachers who still are not able to manage their classes. They have the subject knowledge, they have the experience, but when it comes to classroom management, they are still not very sure how to go about. Now, this is where the first and foremost thing, according to me, is the student connect. When you have a great connect with the student, when you know the strengths and the weakness of the child, when you know the child's learning style, when you know each and every individual child's potential in your classroom, that's where you will be able to connect with them better. And also, you should be very open-minded to learn from them, because the world is changing. Everything is changing so fast. Students are becoming tech savvy. Students are also able to explore so much through Google. They understand how to do research. They can be one man up in their understanding of what the subject is about. So we should be actually understanding what is the requirement of the student, what is the need of the student, and how we need to take it forward. The trust factor also is very important. The trust that the student has in you and the trust that you have in the student, and that is where you will create a beautiful, conducive environment in your classroom. Managing students will never be a problem, and these students, even when they leave the school, they'll come back to you again and again and say that, ma'am, you were the best teacher because you could connect with us. So for me, that is the foremost and very important part of classroom management. Secondly, I would say the classroom culture. How I need to create my classroom culture. From the beginning, I need to be very clear, very honest, the rules and regulations that are expected from them. We should be very clear with each other, very transparent with each other, that these are the expectations. This is how my classroom should look. I remember when we used to go for a walk or inspection, or just moving along the corridor as principals and heads, and when we used to enter a classroom, we could understand very clearly from the classroom behavior, the behavior of the students, the way it was organized, the way the bags are kept, the way the students stand up to wish whoever enters the classroom, and the way they share things, the way they care about each other, how they help each other. We could understand the classroom culture by knowing the teacher. So to create a classroom culture is very important, and basically it's just that the teacher has to come up with the students, talk to them, come up with the essential agreements that are known as, which comes out from the child's mouth, that these are the agreements that we come to. We would like to have these agreement with you, between the teacher and the student, and The child knows because the agreements have come out from their own mouth, they are responsible for it. So the sense of belongingness, the sense of responsibility, the sense of right classroom culture has to be created right from the beginning. So second aspect of classroom management is you need to create a wonderful, conducive classroom culture. Then I will go up to the preparedness of the teacher. How well prepared are you in your for your class? Are you following the lesson plan to the T? Are you well prepared that the first 5 minutes I am going to do recapitulation, the next 20 minutes I am going to introduce the concept. If I am introducing a new concept, have I got all the paraphernalia on my table? Whatever I need, maybe some equipment, say maybe a presentation, maybe a video, am I ready with all that? The next 10 minutes, if I have a question and answer hour, how am I going to answer the questions of the students? What would be the expected questions that I should have in mind that children may ask? So I should be very, very well prepared for the classroom. Clarity of instruction again comes into this. How are my instructions? Am I clear about what I want from my students? The clarity in which I tell them, this is what I want from you. Today or tomorrow, by the end of the day or by end of the class, this is what we are going to learn. These are the notebooks or the textbooks that I need in your bag and on the table when I enter the class. So with this, I would say the class preparedness of yours, the class preparedness of the student, the class preparedness also of, it will also actually include time management. Because if you are ready, your students are ready, maybe you have given a flip class in the sense that you have already asked them to research on something, you just have to ask question and answers. So, in this way, you are managing your time so well that 40-minute period or 35-minute period needs to be actually very, very well organized. So, time management, clarity of instructions and well preparedness of the class. That is very important. Then, I remember when I was a teacher, every day when I used to enter the class, children used to look at me and say that what is she going to do today? And that's actually the crux of the matter is the curiosity of the child should always be at an high. You should always be ready for doing something new, something different every time you enter the classroom. Yes, the regular program is important, no doubt, but that 5 minutes of something different, maybe you want to share with them something else, something new, or maybe talk about the latest hero or the heroine, that's fine, but do something very creative, very different, so that every time you enter the classroom, the student is looking up to you and they think that, what is ma'am going to do today? So the curiosity should always be very high. The creativity is also part of it. How creative are you in your teaching? Now supposing, okay, I'm not ready today. I'm not prepared for the class today. But yes, students, I know my students well and how I can do something new, something creative that will keep them busy. And that will also ensure that my teaching objective is met. So innovation, creativity and curiosity. I would say you have to keep in mind all these 3 pointers to actually manage your class well. And it really works. because every day if you go to the class, the same monotonous way of working, same open your notebooks, open your textbook, underline the difficult words or underline whatever it is, it becomes very monotonous for the child. This is why I'm saying that though you may have subject knowledge, the teacher may have experience, but then the teacher has to move forward according to the need of the hour, according to the need of the student, because students are becoming smarter and smarter day in and day out. Then I would also like to talk about how the body language of the teacher makes a difference. It could be threatening, it could be sarcastic, or it could be very lax, that I don't care whatever you do. So your body language speaks a lot and the student understands what you want to convey. So when you are in the classroom, whether it is online classroom or physical classroom, it has to be, you should be looking at the student, eye to eye contact. You should be very clear of what you want to convey to them. And also, if you want to discipline them, there is a way of doing it. How you react to their behavior issues is also important. So body language, let's not be sarcastic to our students, let's not be threatening to our students, let's not be lax towards our students, because they need us. They need to understand and be there for, they need us for everything, I would say, as a counselor, as a guide, whatever. So we need to be very, very clear about how my expressions, I should be able to actually control my expressions in times of also behavior issues. We should not be like, did you do this? No. Our emotions should not show on our face. That's so very important. So expressions, voice modulation and body language is again, I would say, very important. How you communicate with the students. So again, the next thing is your communication skills. See, when we are talking about clarity of instructions, when we are talking about being transparent, speaking to the children, giving them opportunities, we are also talking about your communication skills. You should be able to communicate the right thing to the student. If you are saying 5 things which the student does not understand, then your classroom management skills will take a deep dive. So it's good that you practice your communication skills. See, a teacher should know her own or his own strengths and weaknesses. And that is where, if my strength is on my subject knowledge, but my weakness is about my communication, I need to work on it. I need to work on my communication skills if that is the case. So, because in the classroom, communication, relationship, connectivity, collaboration, all these are so very important for good management of the classroom. When it comes to surprise behavior issues from some child or the other, maybe he's negative attention seeker child, we need to understand the child and counsel. Because if we react to that child again and again, send him out of the classroom, it doesn't make any sense, because the child will go outside the classroom and will enjoy himself. It's better that I speak to the child, I understand what he requires, I connect with the family of the child, and then I move ahead and see that the child's behavior issue comes down. So it's no point in reacting in front of others, because this is what the child is seeking. This is what the child wants, that everybody looks at him and he gets that attention. Right? So negative attention is a major behavior issue that the teachers have to face, and if you are able to manage and not react to that, that is wonderful. So we need to practice, we need to understand with our experience, we should be able to actually bring out the best from each and every student in the classroom. Also, classroom organization, I would say, is important. You can always move the furniture or the chairs, the setting of chairs, and making children sit in different pairs, or you can group them. So a weekly change, or maybe a quarterly change, or something in the classroom setup and organization also helps, because children feel that okay, fine, something different, something new. So always I would say that for classroom management, good classroom management, as I said at the beginning, it's so very important that we connect with the students. We should be prepared for our class. We should, the clarity of instruction of ours should be very clear. Classroom culture has to be created beautifully, and also our body language and our communication skills have to be highlighted. And I'm sure if we create that kind of environment in our classroom management will be not at all an issue, and the teacher will be able to take the flow of her teaching beautifully throughout the class and through the years. So thank you so much.
To receive such more educational videos, please subscribe and also share it with the people who are associated with education industry. Thank you.